So our last, but certainly not least, Fast and Furious talk of ShmooCon 2024 is Sobriety Hacks with Jen VanAntwerp. Please give her a warm ShmooCon welcome.
Thank you, ShmooCon. I am so excited for my very first public speaking engagement ever. I am also very scared for my first public speaking engagement ever, not just because of the public speaking aspect, but because this can be a heavy subject and it's something that I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable with. So bear with me. But first, we are actually going to talk about stress. Quick poll by a show of hands, who here feels like they encounter a significant amount of stress at their job? So raise your hand, significant amount of stress. Okay, so just about everyone, or at least 50%. You are not alone. In a study that Tynes conducted in 2022, of over 1,000 security team members, 66% reported that they encountered significant stress at their jobs. It is not a surprise. I'm sure that's not a shocking number to any of you. We have an industry full of stressors. You've got late nights at the sock, however you pronounce it, 0 days or O days during the holidays, suck. You've got alert fatigue, yet another round of layoffs. These things just go on. And oftentimes, our physical and mental health, they are an afterthought. And we look to different types of substances to help minimize our stress. But it doesn't have to be that way. Today, I'm going to share some different tips and tricks that I've learned that will hopefully, that have helped me at least, to go from the scary thought of never having to drink ever again, never again, and instead focus on one choice at a time. And now the vulnerable part, other than just walking up on this stage, I want to share why this topic is so important to me. This little Jen, how cute is she? Oh my gosh, with her bad hair and her little strawberry shortcake dress, she's adorable. This is about the age I was the first time I got drunk. But I was with family, so it's okay, right? Yikes, no. My substance abuse picked up. I started experimenting more in high school. And then in college, I went off the rails, did a lot of rails, had a lot of struggles. We have a family history of addiction in my family. Aunts, uncles, cousins going in and out of rehab. My personal triggers and the main issues that caused me to spiral out of control were negative self-talk. It is very loud and very rude. And social anxiety, which, yes, extroverts can experience social anxiety. It does happen. And I'm sure, like a lot of you in this room, and those of you watching from home, I have mourned and grieved friends and family members who have lost their lives to the struggle of addiction. One day, my uncle got sober, and this time it stuck. Woohoo. And he became an example, a positive example of sobriety for everyone in our family, starting to break that cycle of addiction. He taught me a mantra: what does it add to your life? And that planted the seed for my future sobriety. I got sober back in October 2000, so Y2K was actually very impactful for me. And I've been working in cybersecurity for a little over 3 years. Now, before that, I worked in the automotive industry and the healthcare industry. And while our industries are very different, the networking events are like exactly the same. You've got happy hours, wine pairings, whiskey tastings, everything revolving around alcohol. It's part of what motivated me to start Sober and Cyber, and why I even decided to get on this stage despite the nerves. Addiction does not discriminate, and it doesn't care what industry you work in. There was a 2019 CISO-focused study from Nominet in which 17% of CISOs stated that they were either medicating or using alcohol to deal with work-related stress. And that was back in 2019, before COVID. So now, the alcohol fairy could just fly right to your door and bring you alcohol, weed, whatever you want. And those stats don't get much better when you narrow in on the tech and cybersecurity field. The 2022 survey from Times stated that 18.7% of folks within our industry have 3 or more alcoholic beverages every single day. So that's 1 in 5 of us. I'm not going to ask for another show of hands, don't worry. 1 in 5 of us have more than 3 alcoholic drinks every single day. Pun completely intended. That was a very sobering stat. Okay, now, done with the depressing stats and the really bad 8-year-old hair, on to the fun stuff. Are you ready for sobriety hacks? Exclamation point. These are some of the different things that I've been able to, I guess I already, I cheated. I already gave my best line here. Oh, there we go. Now we can have the sobriety hacks. Exclamation point. Thank you. Who knows how long I would have kept on rambling there. Again, these are the things that helped me go from being afraid of never again and focusing on one choice at a time. So hack number 1, believe in the power of mantras. My uncle shared a whisper of a mantra with me that became my sobriety battle cry. What does it add to your life? Find the mantra or the why that works for you. Number 2, focus on gratitude. What works for me is I have a gratitude journal that I write down 3 different things I'm grateful for every single day. They could be sweet moments, funny quotes from your kid, different achievements that you're proud of. And then at the end of the year, on New Year's Day, I go through these as just a fun way to start the new year. Give yourself the grace to catch up on or skip different sessions and come back later on. It should be a fun and rewarding activity and not something that is guilt-filled for an obligation. Doing this practice really kind of tricks your brain into finding all those different moments that happen throughout the day because you want to remember them for your journal later on. Number 4, build your support squad. These are the people that will have your back no matter what. They will help you to be accountable to your goals. And let's see. Oh, thank you. I don't know how I keep skipping. Build your support squad. There it is. The folks that will always have your back and help you to be accountable to your different goals. My biggest, the most potent weapon that I have against a future relapse is this right here. It's my great big mouth. Whenever I start to feel the itch, I talk about it with the people I love who I know love and support me. An urge often starts to lose its power whenever you talk about your struggles or say things out loud. It's like that scene from The Labyrinth. You have no power over me, no power over me. And then tip number 5, this is a tried and true sobriety hack. Always have a beverage in your hand. My wonderful friend brought me a mocktail. I'll use this as an example. Also, I'm thirsty. At work-related events, a lot of times people are just trying to be polite when they try to offer you beverages. If you always have a mocktail or sparkling water in your hand, the chance of that happening is significantly reduced. And on the topic of networking events, there are a lot of things that you can do as managers, event organizers, or employers to try to help your events more inclusive for people like me who don't drink. Because after all, there are a lot of reasons why someone might choose not to drink at that particular moment. They might be sober like me, or maybe they're training for a triathlon. Perhaps they're pregnant and not quite ready to share that news with all of their coworkers. They could not be drinking for religious reasons, or maybe they're on day 4 of a conference in Las Vegas and they just need a break. Y'all have been there. All of these reasons are valid. And if you're able to offer some different alcohol-free options to your employees, then it'll give them the same opportunity that everyone else has to mingle, network, and bond with their fellow coworkers. And if you want to win extra bonus points, have something like my friend brought me, have a non-alcoholic option that is not full of sugar, so something other than soda or Shirley Temples. I will never forget the first time that I saw a mocktail on the special drink menu at a work-related event. It was S4 2022, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I had some tears in my eyes when I saw it there at the bar. It made me feel included. And I'm getting the stop sign up there, so I will hop through there. So at the end of the day, we're all just perfectly imperfect people trying our best to make healthy choices and make genuine connections with the people around us. If anything that I've said here today has struck a chord, just know that making these changes doesn't have to be scary or all-encompassing. You can take these incremental changes to start moving towards either a more sober lifestyle or sober-ish. These are things that you can do from day to day. You can start today. You can do it. I believe in you. And if you want a reminder of these, come find me. I have some little coasters because I think sober coasters are just ironic and hilarious. So thank you very much, ShmooCon.